want to show you a photo I took in Dingle in County Kerry in Ireland. It's a pub, nothing fancy, just a pub on a quiet street in a small town on the west coast of Ireland. But I want to tell you what this photo actually is, because it's not only a pub. It's a point in time, and that point in time has a history behind it and a future in front of it. Once I tell you what I mean by that, I think you'll never look at a photograph on a wall in the same way again. My mum grew up not far from Dingle. She never really talked about it. Not to me, not to my siblings. It just wasn't spoken about. Our generation, they carry things quietly. She died a couple of years before my partner and I made the trip out there. We went to find the village where she'd lived as a child. And we found a man there, an older fella. He knew my family from the 40s, the 50s. He started telling us stories we'd never heard, about people we'd only ever known as names. He told us there was a cottage still standing where my mum had lived with her Auntie Debbie. So we went looking for it, and I mean looking. We fought our way through some proper rural undergrowth, and we found it. We walked in, and it was like time had stopped. There were bits of net curtains on the windows, old furniture, bits and pieces from those times just still there. Nobody had touched it. I'd never known any of this existed. One story my mother did tell me when we were in Dublin about 30 years ago, it was that my mum, as a little girl, was strafed by a German fighter plane. She was on a boat heading from Ireland to the UK, and the gunner was killed. And her sister, who was older, was saying to the crew members who were trying to put a life jacket on my mum, tight, 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 she's only little. Before the trip, me and my partner made, my sisters and I went back to Kells Bay and scattered my mum and dad's ashes there. They loved Kerry. A photo is never just a photo. It's always a point in time with a history behind it and a future in front of it, as I said earlier. So, the pub photo, I took it on the trip my partner and I made. Just a street in Dingle, a pub, afternoon light. The kind of shot you take because something catches your eye and you don't quite know why yet. But now, when I look at it, I see all of that. The cottage, the net curtains, Auntie Debbie's house, my mum as a little girl on a boat with a life jacket pulled tight. That's what street photography can do. It can hold a whole world that nobody else can see, but you can feel it, even if you don't know the story. And that's the thing about putting a photograph on your wall. You're not just decorating a room, you're choosing something to live with. Something that will be there in the morning when you make your coffee. Something your kids will grow up looking at. Something that will mean something different to you in 10 years. A photo on your wall, it isn't static. It grows with you. It holds more over time, not less. That's why it matters what you put there. So, how do you find street photography worth living with? 3 things I'd say to anyone starting out. 1, look for a photo that holds a story. Not a pretty image, a story. If a photographer can't tell you why they took a shot, what they felt, what they saw, what was happening, it probably doesn't have much in it. Ask, read the caption, watch the video. The story is part of what you're buying. 2, think about living with it, not just looking at it. There's a difference between a photo you'd stop and admire in a gallery and a photo you'd want on your wall every single day. The gallery photo can be dramatic, challenging, technically brilliant. The wall photo needs to give you something quieter, something that rewards a second look and 100th look. 3, buy something with a point in time you can connect to. A place you've been, a city you love, a moment that reminds you of something real. The best street photography on your wall is art to thread back to your own life. That's what makes people stop and look, not because the photo is beautiful, but because it means something. It's the meaning. The Dingle pub photo is on my site. It's one of my favourites. Not because it's technically perfect, it's not, but because of everything it holds for me. And now, a little bit, because of everything it holds for you too. If you've got a place like that, somewhere that means something, a point in time you keep coming back to, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. I'm Billy. This is the Billy Bones. See you next time.